Good morning. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. This is a live look at the Twin Bridges, looking over into Henderson. Traffic moving along smoothly this morning. We have some changes on the way, though. Right now it's dry, but there are some scattered showers and storms moving in as the day goes on. It will be hotter tomorrow with some storms rolling in late in the day, and then those rain chances linger. I'm actually going to lower this table real quick. I meant to do that before we started, so let me get that out of your way so that you can read my graphics here. Those rain chances will linger then as we go through the rest of this week. Here's the rain that we're tracking right now. There's some showers out in Missouri and then some more in Illinois. Notice it's very spotty though. So this rain is not a guarantee. Not everyone will necessarily see the rain that we may get today, but we are tracking a few showers and storms still off to the northwest right now. That may then move into the tri-state as the day goes on. So particularly in southeast Illinois, you may start getting a little bit of rain within the next hour or two, but I think it'll be pretty light and spotty to start at least. Then more scattered showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms kind of spread out across the tri-state as we head toward the lunch hour and into the afternoon. But again, it'll be scattered, so it won't necessarily rain everywhere. That rain then becomes more isolated as we go through the afternoon into the evening. Then it tapers off completely as we get into the overnight hours. Now tomorrow we may catch a stray shower earlier in the day, but I really think most of the day on Tuesday is probably going to be dry until after 5 p.m. So then as we get into Tuesday evening, showers and thunderstorms come in from the northwest and work their way through the tri-state Tuesday evening into Tuesday night. Then that tapers off as well. Wednesday, again, maybe a stray shower earlier in the day, but the best chance of rain on Wednesday seems to be in the afternoon and evening. But again, it would be just a few scattered showers, maybe a brief rumble of thunder. As for our risk of any severe weather, this is brand new, just in. The tri-state has now been put at a level 1 risk for an isolated strong to severe storm later today. Again, our severe weather risk is still very low, but there is just that level 1 risk that we could get an isolated strong to severe storm. The greater risk of severe weather is still well off to our northwest, stretching back over the plains states there. As we get into Tuesday, again, we're at that level 1 risk that we could maybe see an isolated strong to severe storm that may be capable of producing some damaging winds. But overall, our main threats would be heavy rain and frequent lightning that are really not a threat if you're indoors, but if you're caught outside, as there are a lot of things going on outside this time of year, those could obviously be dangerous. Then Wednesday, we're in just that general risk where we could get a few rumbles of thunder, but really it's just scattered showers and maybe a brief thunderstorm. So again, not real worried about severe weather any day this week, but there is this chance of storms every single day. As for our temperatures, we're already warming into the mid to upper 70s. It's 77 in Evansville and Newburgh. Owensboro sitting at 78 right now. If you are headed out, the Gibson County Fair, the White and Wayne County Fairs, all happening this week. As we go through the rest of the day, keep in mind those temperatures are going to climb into the lower 80s this morning, but then that rain moves in. Scattered showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms. On the downside, you may have to move indoors for a little bit. On the upside, it is going to keep us a little bit cooler. It was very hot and very humid over the holiday weekend. Today, I think we'll top out in the mid to upper 80s. Then we'll drop back through the 80s this evening, then through the 70s overnight, eventually bottoming out in the lower 70s by early tomorrow morning. And then Tuesday, partly cloudy but a little hotter with highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. That's because much of the day on Tuesday will be dry, so we won't have that rain to cool us off in the middle of the day. It'll just keep warming up all the way into the afternoon. Then the chance of rain on Tuesday really comes into play later in the evening and into Tuesday night. Now you'll notice rain is something we'll have to get very accustomed to this week. We are not talking about a washout. I mean, I just showed you these 3 days. It's very scattered, very hit or miss. That's going to be the case this entire week, but every single day there's at least that chance you could get caught under a shower or storm at some point in the day. The good news is any chance of severe weather seems very low. So not really anticipating severe weather this week, but we may get some thunder, some heavy rain, maybe some gusty winds as these storms storms roll through over the next few days, but it does keep us from getting too terribly hot. Highs will be in the upper 80s to low 90s, which is right where we should be this time of year. Taking a quick check of the comments. Lacey, good morning to you. Asking about flash flood warnings or severe thunderstorm warnings. I wouldn't rule it out, but it's not likely. If we were to get a severe thunderstorm warning, it would most likely be for isolated damaging wind gusts. A flash flood warning sometimes pops up when these thunderstorms are slow moving. So if we do get a storm that kind of pops up and parks itself over one place and it rains and rains and rains just in that one spot, that can cause some flooding issues. I wouldn't rule that out today either. These showers and storms have already been pretty slow moving, but they also haven't been very long lived. So I think it may pop up and then just kind of rain itself out over one spot, but I don't know that it would last long enough to cause any sort of major flash flooding. So again, I wouldn't rule it out. There's an isolated chance, but the chances of it are fairly low. So that's not a widespread risk that I'm concerned about. We're not on alert today. There's slim chance of anything like that happening. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, but don't go anywhere because Casey Mason will be right back with some of your top news headlines.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices. Stay informed on your...
All right. Good morning, everyone. This is my very first time doing our streaming show solo, so, wish me luck today. I said it's kind of like if you pat your stomach and rub your head or whatever that old phrase is at the same time. You're doing a lot of different moving parts here, running your video, running your graphics, but hey, that's the name of the game because we want to stay connected to you all. That's why I really enjoy this. So as you can see, I am alone today. That means that Mitch Carter is out. He is on vacation this week with his family. We hope that they are having an absolute blast, but I'll be ready for him to get back here next week because, it's a little bit more fun when you have someone with you. You also noticed that Arden Gregory in today for Byron. We were happy to have her this morning. We said it was a little bit of a ladies show, right, today, Arden? We held it down, the two of us. I think Byron will be back tomorrow, but I enjoyed having Arden out in the studio with me to kick off this Monday morning. Of course, it is Monday, July 7th. We're coming out of a holiday weekend. I hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July. Of course, we're going to kind of recap some 4th of July stories for you. These are some of the headlines that I pulled for you to go back over today that we discussed during our morning sunrise show. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, be patient with me today. It's my first time solo in here, but hey, we'll have some fun while we're at it. So let's go ahead and recap some stories from this weekend. You right now are taking a look at the Evansville Fireworks Show. So on Friday, the skyline there, it was filled with bright lights and colors as thousands gathered in downtown Evansville for fireworks there on the Ohio River. More than 30 local food booths. They were all serving up some barbecue, some frozen treats for a very hot weekend. It was beautiful out there, but it was definitely a warm one. Right now, you're taking a look at just some of the fireworks that spectators got to see that night. Now, officials say that nearly 2,000 fireworks were all shot into the sky for everyone to enjoy. That is a lot of fireworks, but it looked like a really good time. But hey, you know what? There were other events taking place, so let's take you now over to Owensboro. And this is where they had a fireworks show as well. Of course, Evansville wasn't the only spot around the Tri-State celebrating. Some theatrics there. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful display. This was the scene in Owensboro Friday night as seen from our Sky Vision camera downtown, actually. And this right here was the grand finale to really an evening that kicked off much earlier. There was lots of live music and other celebration. Of course, the food was great out there. And really around the Tri-State, there was a lot going on. The red, white, and boom night for the DuBois County Bombers and fireworks over the Berg all took place as well. So lots of fun happening this weekend. And now finally, though, with fun, there is always a reminder, though, to follow the rules in this time of celebration. We want to remind you that if you live in Evansville, there are laws that you do need to follow when it comes to any more celebrations. So, hey, if you live in city limits, you do have until Wednesday to continue launching off those fireworks. In case the 4th wasn't enough for you, police say that they can be used from 5 in the evening until 2 hours past sunset. So about 10:30ish at night, you'll want to be wrapping up that show. I'm sure your neighbors will appreciate it. And officials want to remind you that fireworks, they cannot be used on public streets, parks, or really any place where they might land on someone else's property. They say any violations can actually lead to a fine. So there's the information there on your screen. Again, you know, the celebrations can continue. Just make sure that you follow those rules or you could lead to a fine. So I'm going to go ahead and check over the comments. Going to keep it short and sweet today as I am solo out here. So just want to go through our comments. I see that Lacey Martin was tuning in. You got to that question there, Arden, earlier. Vicky Elkins says, good morning. Good morning to you. Janet Stapleton, good morning to you as well. And Lacey Martin says, good morning, Casey. I am praying for Texas by the deadly flooding that took place this week. And of course, we followed that story this morning. And I know right now on the national news, they're kind of covering that event. Obviously devastating. We're continuing to find out more about that. And I know we should have some more updates as well here on 14 News when you guys join us again at 11 and at noon. So yes, prayers continued for them as well. And then Paula Cheney says, good morning, 14 WFIE. So thank you all. We do enjoy the comments. I'd be happy to hear maybe tomorrow if you want to share with us during our 8:30 streaming show what you did over the weekend, maybe some fun 4th of July traditions. What's your favorite food? What do you guys like to eat? I am not a good cook, but I'm always willing to test anything you guys can, maybe tell us what you make. I can have someone make it for me and then I'll just eat it. That's usually my game plan in my household. So Scott Mason, of course, my dad watches every day. Hello to you, sir. But yeah, it's been a great start to our Monday. As I said, Byron was out today as well as Mitch. So Arden and I had a little fun out there this morning. I think, like I said, Byron will be back tomorrow. But yeah, Mitch is out all week. So I'll be doing our Sunrise Show solo as well as our streaming segment here. And, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, even just tell us maybe what you're up to this week. I know we're dodging a few showers out there. Of course, a little bit of a break from that intense heat we saw 2 weeks ago. Before I go, I was going to kind of recap an event. The Gibson County Fair is happening right now. Of course, I'm a little biased because I am born and raised from Gibson County, Indiana. Shout out Princeton Tigers. So the county fair is going on all this week. Hope you guys can head out there. Of course, other local fairs happening throughout the summer. Go show your support and love to our county fairs. I know they're a lot of fun. A lot of folks put a lot of hours and hard work into those. I always enjoyed attending. Lots of fun. Maybe tomorrow we'll also talk about your favorite fair foods, or if you're planning to head out to the Gibson County Fair, let me know in the comments. Friday night, I will actually be emceeing the grandstand, the main stage. Country music act Colt Ford's going to be coming to town for his concert this Friday night at the Gibson County Fair if you guys want to head out. So, well, as you can see, I have no problem chit-chatting on my own. I really don't need Mitch, do I, Arden? I'm pretty much going to be able to talk to a wall. So that's why I'm okay out here on my own. But it is a little different when you don't have your co-host joining you for these things. So wanted to recap some headlines there. We always kick it off weather first. Talk about a few events that took place this morning. Fireworks, follow those rules, and we should have a good rest of the week. Everybody out there, stay safe, try to stay dry, and I will see you right back here again tomorrow for another recap of our headlines. At this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and head out. Don't see any new comments popping up. And thank you guys for tuning in today. So we'll see you right back here, same time, same place tomorrow.